Human beings like to think of themselves as rational creatures. We imagine that when we make a choice, whether it's buying a new phone, voting for a candidate, or even deciding what to eat for dinner, we're carefully weighing the facts, comparing the options, and arriving at the smartest possible decision. The truth, however, is far less flattering. Our brains are full of shortcuts, mental tricks, and hidden distortions that shape every thought and action we take. These distortions are known as psychological biases, and they are everywhere. At their core, biases are survival tools. Long before skyscrapers, stock markets, or smartphones, our ancestors had to make quick decisions in dangerous environments. Hesitate too long in the grasslands, and you might be dinner for a predator. Trust the wrong stranger, and you might lose your resources or your life. So, evolution wired our brains with shortcuts, fast, intuitive rules of thumb that helped us survive. But in the modern world, those same shortcuts often betray us, leading to mistakes, irrational beliefs, and strange patterns of behavior. Take confirmation bias, for example. The tendency to seek out information that supports what we already believe, while ignoring or dismissing what challenges it. It's why we click headlines that make us nod rather than frown, why political debates often feel like two people shouting past each other, and why conspiracy theories thrive in online echo chambers. Our brains crave the comfort of reinforcement, not the discomfort of contradiction. Another bias, anchoring, shows up when we latch on to the first piece of information we encounter and let it shape everything else. Imagine walking into a store and seeing a watch priced at $10,000. The next watch you see, priced at $500, suddenly feels cheap, even if it's still wildly overpriced. That first number has anchored your perception, warping what seems reasonable. Or think about availability bias, the way we judge probability based on what comes easily to mind. People often believe that plane crashes are more common than they are simply because they're dramatic, vivid, and endlessly reported on the news. Meanwhile, something far deadlier like car accidents or heart disease feels less urgent because the stories don't stick in our memory the same way. Then there's the bandwagon effect. Humans are social animals, and we're wired to copy others. If everyone in your office suddenly invests in a hot stock, you may feel an irresistible pull to do the same, even if you know nothing about finance. The logic isn't "this makes sense," but rather, if so many people are doing it, maybe they know something I don't. It's a bias that fuels bubbles, fads, and even revolutions. Our biases also play tricks with time and risk. Present bias makes us value immediate rewards over long-term benefits, even when the future payoff is much greater. That's why diets fail, gyms empty after January, and procrastination thrives. The marshmallow test, where children are offered 1 marshmallow now or 2 if they wait, is a classic demonstration of just how hard it is for humans to resist the pull of the present. Hindsight bias, on the other hand, makes the past feel inevitable. After an election, a stock market crash, or a sports victory, we look back and think it was obvious all along. But at the time, it wasn't obvious at all. We simply rewrite history in our minds to make the world feel more predictable. If you want to know more about economics and politics, check out my other videos. Okay, back to the topic. There's also the Dunning-Kruger effect, a bias that feels almost like a cruel joke. The less we know about a subject, the more confident we tend to feel about it. Meanwhile, true experts, aware of the complexity and uncertainty, are often more humble about their knowledge. It's why the loudest voices in the debate are often the least informed, while those who actually understand hesitate before speaking. Overconfidence bias is closely related. Our tendency to believe we're better than average at almost everything. Surveys consistently show that a majority of drivers think they are above average drivers, which is mathematically impossible. The same happens in investing, in sports, in academics. Confidence outpaces reality, often leading to reckless mistakes. But not all biases are destructive. Some serve as psychological cushions. Optimism bias, for instance, leads us to underestimate risks and overestimate positive outcomes. If we judge the world purely by statistical dangers, we might never leave our homes. A little optimism bias gives us the courage to try new things, fall in love, or start ambitious projects. The danger is when optimism blinds us to very real risks. And then there's loss aversion. The idea that losing something hurts far more than gaining the same thing brings joy. Winning $100 feels nice. Losing $100 feels devastating. This bias drives everything from stock market panic to people clinging to bad relationships or jobs, simply because giving them up feels like a loss. All these biases add up to one big truth. Our brains are not impartial judges, but messy, shortcut-loving, story-driven machines. We see what we want to see, remember what we want to remember, and believe what feels comfortable. But here's the twist. Knowing about these biases doesn't make us immune to them. Even as you're listening now, your brain is quietly choosing which examples feel true and which you'll dismiss. So, the next time you're making a big decision, pause and ask yourself, am I weighing the facts or just falling into a bias trap? Am I buying that product because it's truly valuable or because of anchoring? Am I voting for that idea because it's right or because it matches my preconceptions? Awareness won't cure bias completely, but it can give us a fighting chance. And maybe that's the point. We don't need to eliminate every bias. We can't. What we can do is learn to spot them, laugh at them, and work around them. Because in the end, recognizing our irrationality is the first step towards making decisions that are just a little more rational. Thanks for watching. I see you in the next video.